This is State Farm agent Jason Hardy coming to you today with the Junction City Dragons. Jason Hardy, State Farm Player of the Week. And this week's player is Tony Hodges. Tony, congratulations for being named Jason Hardy, State Farm Player of the Week. First of all, I always like to ask, how does it feel for your coaches to recognize you and name you Player of the Week?
It feels great because they got a lot of players to choose from who play very good ball, and so it's very appreciative for them to choose me and recognize me.
All right. So it's a little bit bittersweet. Season came to an end. Last game for you. As a senior, Tony, you play center, you play defensive tackle for a team that made it to the semis. Like I say, a little bit bittersweet because I'm sure you had your eye on a state ring. But to get back to the semis, man, have you had some time to kind of put it in perspective, kind of reflect back on it and think about it a little bit?
Yes, sir. I played on a pretty bad team in my sophomore year, so just getting the program back where it needs to be and, leading my brothers in a better place, it really feels good. I look back and I can't really complain. The outcome wasn't what I wanted it to be or what any other seniors wanted it to be, but you can't complain whenever you go and you pretty much dominate in the playoffs, which nobody expected you to do. So I can't complain about this year.
No doubt about it. It is tough to see the season end, your high school career end. Don't want to dwell on that too much, I know, but it is what it is, right? It's where we are. Hard to get a lot of stats from center and defensive tackle, but Coach talked a little bit about you had from the defensive side of the ball, you had 2 quarterback pressures, 4 tackles, 2 tackles for a loss. On the offensive side, you were graded out as a 94% blocker with 10 impact blocks. Man, in the trenches, getting it done. Tell me a little bit about that. Going both ways on both lines. Tell me the some of the struggles and some of the hardships you have to go through and be an unsung hero like that.
Well, you just got to be a reliable player. For me, I just felt like I could rely on anybody on my team, and then I felt like the coaches could rely on me. If they needed a guy to make a play, I felt like I could do it. And so the hardships is just like you have to just put in the work and the hours, regardless of if we're not practicing or getting work after practice. Last year, I worked every day with Coach Jones or Coach Ball after practice, getting extra work in because I want to be a better player and want to develop my game. And you got to condition yourself to do that. So the next year, you'll be 10 times better than what you were the year before.
All right. I wasn't a big football guy, but a lot of us always hear on the offensive line, the smarter you are, the closer you are to the ball. You're the center. So you touching it every play, just like the quarterback. So tell me a little bit about that. Now, I asked you ahead of time about your grades because I had in mind I was going to say that, but you're over a 3-point student, 3.4 student, so a good student. Tell me about how that translates to why you got to be smart to play center.
Well, being smart to play center, you have to be composed, and under pressure, you have to just breathe and take it all in, and then you got to realize that you're the center, you're the captain of the offense, and you're the guy who's going to make the play happen. The ball has to get to the quarterback before the play happens, so, snapping the ball and having a block is a pretty difficult thing, but just don't think about it. You got to go out there and do it, and then you're the captain of the O-line too, so you got to know everybody's position, what they need to do. So if they don't know, then they can ask you, and you let them know. And then whenever you need to figure out what the offense needs to do, you figure it out.
That's great, man. So I love the confidence that you just told me. You just called yourself the captain of the offense and the captain of the O-line. That's leadership. Tell me a little bit about. Because let's be honest. The quarterback probably thinks he's the captain of the offense. There's probably times when the running back thinks he's the captain of the offense. There's probably times when a wide receiver thinks he's the captain of the offense. But you're taking that bull by the horns, and like you say, the play starts with you. So tell me a little bit about, you going from you talked about, you weren't on a good team as a sophomore, but then these last 2 years, your junior year, your senior year, you've kind of gotten back to where you feel like you said, you got the program back. Tell me how that happened, and from a leadership standpoint, tell me a little bit about how you bring people along with you to do that.
Well, first you got to keep guys in line. Without guys being in line, you just can't have a complete team. Nobody wants to play for a guy who won't listen and won't be respectful to players and coaches. So you got to keep people in line. And once you start having big games, people want to come out and play with you and for you. And so the coaches do a great job of helping us lead the team.
Man, that's fantastic. Let me get Coach Ball in here for a second to talk a little bit about this leader that we're talking to today. Coach, you hear that confidence in that young man, and talking about leading his team and leading his teammates. Tell me a little bit about what you've seen as far as the maturation and the growth that you've seen in Tony.
Yeah, I mean, there's just no surprise. And, Jason, we've been together here for a couple of weeks now, at least 12 so. And, when you look up and see why our guys have that confidence, there's no surprise when you meet Tony. Tony's our guy. When I got here, I identified him. He had this spark in him of just that desire to be great and to help others be great. And that's the defining factor in football, is iron sharpening iron. And, from his work ethic, he's a 2-time state weightlifting champion. He's fixing to be a 3-time state weightlifting champion. Busts his butt in track. He's about to make a decision on where he's going to play college football at. We're going to get him there. And his desire to give back past the game, like he said, it's for the program. We are a program-centric movement. We are not just worried about winning titles and winning football games. We want to impact the community. And I feel really good going to bed at night knowing that Tony Hodge is out there representing our brand of man. And there's no way to replace him, though. I'll say that he's a cornerstone guy that you just can't replace, because you'll see him, in 10, 15 years, he's still going to be pouring in, and that's the difference. There's people that come and go, but guys like Tony, they'll last forever. And what he's done for his brothers, what he's going to continue to do, and then for their kids and stuff of that nature, man, it is unbelievable to be able to share some life with him, and I look forward to doing even more with him in the future.
All right, Tony, we're going to bring it back to you. You hear your coach talk about not just what you've done in the past, but what the expectations are for you in the future a little bit there. Talk to me about that. What does that feel like to have expectations?
Well, expectations is where it starts. You have to have an expectation for you to meet the expectation or exceed it. Without expectations, you can't get nowhere, because you don't know where you want to be or where you could be.
Yeah. Man, I love that answer. Tell me a little bit about, Coach talked about playing at the next level. It's not guaranteed, but you've got a goal. You want to do that. Tell me a little bit about what your plans are. I know Coach talked about you won 2 weightlifting championships, got another one in mind. It's another expectation. The expectation is to be able to play at the next level. Tell me a little bit about what your intentions are and plans are to get that done.
Well, the plans are to just go hard this whole off season. Lifting weights is going to help, getting stronger and bigger, faster. You gotta do extra for you to want to play the next level. You have to do way more than what you're doing.
All right. You got to do extra. That's hard sometimes, isn't it? Talk to me a little bit about. I mean, you're a 3.4 student. You got good grades. You're weightlifting state champion. You're a high-level football player. You can't just do that with normal work. Talk to me about how you balance all of that, how you make the grades in the classroom as well as meeting those expectations you've got athletically.
Well, see, I try to get all the schoolwork done in class. If I don't, then as soon as I get done working out or doing my extra activities, I'll go home and do the work. You're a student athlete. You got to do the student part before you can be an athlete. Without being a student, you can't play the game. Unless you're in the NFL, you got to do schoolwork. I mean.
No doubt about it. And I love that. I love that attitude. It's student athlete, and student comes first. And I'm sure your parents love that attitude too. Probably have a lot to say about that attitude and instilling that in you. But that's a great answer, and you're right. Unless you're in the NFL doing this for a living, there's got to be schoolwork at the high school level, at the college level, and that's a great outlook. And I love that answer. All right, Tony, tell me something about what I'm going to find Tony Hodges doing when you're not playing ball or in the gym. What do you like to do?
Just hang out with my brothers. I call all my brothers at the field house because they've been with me since maybe Pee-wee football or maybe since high school. So I love hanging out with them and spending time with them because you don't know when it's going to be your last time seeing them. So I always make the best of my moments. And then if I'm not doing that, I'm just at the house chilling, playing the game. That's about it.
All right. Okay. I love to hear the play in the game. It comes from just about all of the guys, and I get that. No doubt. What's the game you play when you're playing the game?
Oh man, mainly sports games, and they just came out with NCAA back, so I love playing that all the time. So that's the main one.
Okay. All right. On NCAA, who's your team?
LSU.
Oh man, should have seen that one coming. Should have seen that one coming. All right, no doubt. Well, man, I have enjoyed it. Want to say congratulations to you again. I know it sounds kind of odd to say congratulations after the season ends on a loss, but man, making it to the semis, playing on the weekend of Thanksgiving. There aren't many teams still playing at that point. So. Congratulations on having a great season, on having a great career, and look forward to hearing from you and what comes next, man. Tony Hodges, this week's Junction City Dragons, Jason Hardy, State Farm Player of the Week. Congratulations again.
Thank you.